Okay, so prototyping. So how many of us, when we hear the word prototyping, the first thing that comes to our mind is animation? Uh, Anybody? I just feel like when we talk about prototyping, is animation that we're talking about in Figma. Okay, so prototyping is not all about animation alone. It's actually much more than the animating aspect of Figma. It's not all about that transitioning that we all want to create. It's not all about uh, expanding menus beautifully alone, or uh, throwing cards left and right. That is not just what prototyping is about. So what allows users to interact with your design is what prototyping is all about. That flow. So um, generally speaking, under prototyping we have a whole lot. We have uh, not just animate features alone. And that is what we'll be checking out, and then we'll take some practical session also. So stages of prototyping, and I think these stages is what really matters the most to me. I know to some it doesn't, and that is first you actually need to pick a flow and starting point. Flow and starting point is I think people do that, or they don't even know that they've not done that. Well, let me say, because Figma automatically do it sometimes, people tend to think they are the one that did it. So this is how to make a flow. When you click on this, as you can see, there is flow, there is interaction, and then there is scrolling behavior. And under scrolling behavior, we have other things. And under interaction, we have other things. But this is actually the starting point of everything. So if you click on this, Figma adds this stuff telling you that the first thing that will be displayed if I so let me do something. The first thing that will be displayed if I start playing or presenting this Figma file, right, this color, okay, is this screen. So at the moment I have flow 3. That means there is flow 1, there is flow 2. And so let's just present, and then we'll see what I'm trying to talk about. So uh, so there is always now you can see if I had made this the flow 3, this is what is going to show first. But because I'm making this flow uh the starting point of the flow, it automatically starts with this. Okay, I wish there is a way to, so let's open it to presentation mode. Start instead. So if you come to this place, you would see flow 1, you see flow 2, you see flow 3. So this is flow 3 at the moment, this is flow 2, and then this is flow 1. So there is nothing on flow 1 at the moment, and then we'll check it out later. So uh, let's go back to our file. So having understand that, the next part is creating connection. So what makes prototyping is these interactions between frames. uh, Once this icon comes out and then you connect it, boom. So this is the second thing you need to know how to do. I know some of us are guru already, but also we have people who are just starting. This will be their first time prototyping on the page. So having done that, this is connection. Then we have interactions and animation. Now, like I said, prototyping is not all about animation. Under interactions, we now have animation. So if you If I open this part back, you would see interaction. And then if I open this interaction, and then uh, you would see tab. You would see under tab we have on drag, we have while hovering, we have while pressing. All these tools are prototyping, but they are not animation at all. They are just don't worry, we'll get there. We'll explain better. So they are not animation. These parts navigate to, these are not also animation, okay? But they are just features that aids the animating uh, part of prototyping. So and then under this is when we now have smart animate. So you could do all these. They are not animation. But let me see. Generally, these are like a form of animating your prototypes. Okay. So where am I? Interactions and animation. So we have interactions. We have interactions all here. These are interactions. And then we have this also as interactions. And then we now have animations. Okay. And then I think we're good to go. So now, like I said, prototyping is not about animation. So under prototyping, we have prototyping or prototype triggers. And then I would explain all these one by one using example. So for example, I've actually done this, but I will do it all over again. So let's play this and then we'll see what happens. So at the moment, this is a company that I created such that if I click on this, I want it to turn to this. And then also if I hover on this, I want it to turn to this. And if I press down on this, I want it to turn to this. And if I take my cursor away, it should return back to this. So when you want to in prototype, you need to understand what you want to do first. And that is what makes the works easy. So we have this as flow 2. Then if I click on this, it turns red. Now I didn't, this is not animation, as you can see, it's not animating. This is just pure interactions and clicking. Okay, so it clicks, and then when I hover on this, it turns to the middle one. When I press this down, it turns to the yellow one. When I take away my cursor, it turns back to the white one. And then when I click on this once, it goes to the next page. So this is the next page that happens is the interaction between this and this. And if you notice, it didn't stay long on this second page. Like after some count, 1 2 3, it goes to the next frame. Now what I did to this frame is I want it to be like if someone is pressing this keyboard down, it keeps on changing from this to this, change to this. So if I press down now, that happened, and if I press down, this happened. So the reason why, and if I press up again, up, it goes back and forth. So uh, the reason why is, let's say on dashboard, you would have, when you put your cursor on part, they will turn blue, and then it will show you that, oh, at this particular column uh, is what you're clicking on. It's the same thing in Excel, where when you click on some column, it turns blue all through the row, and when some row it turns blue, and then when you click on some column, it turns ash also. I can't remember. So I'll just show us how I did this, and then we'll play around. Okay, so first and foremost, we have a circle. Okay, so we have a circle. Let's make it big. Then we can duplicate this. We can drag this inside. Sorry. Okay, so we can change this again to this. Then we can change this to white. Let's change this to, okay, something like this. Okay, so if you want an interaction of when you click something, is change to something, that means what you're trying to say is on click, change to this, or on click, uh, do this particular thing. So already you already know that you're working with click, and you won't just say click there. Click is also the same as tap. Okay, so first thing, we can put this in a frame, and then sorry. Okay, so we can put this in a frame. Let's name it unclicked. Okay, and then make it a component. Okay, so now we have a component, and this is the first component. When you make a variance of this, you can always edit this. Like I said, if you don't understand components, you can always go back to the previous class. So we'll change this from this to blue. Let's make it yellow. So good. And then now we have a variant of this to be this. And then we can now prototype the two. Don't forget, I'm not doing this inside my design. I'm doing this as a component. So first and foremost, you need to click on this. Okay. And then add an interaction. Okay, so like I said, on click is also on tap. So on tap, we want uh this frame, sorry, on tap, we want this frame to change to what? To the variant 2. So let's name this variant 2 to be clicked. Okay, so did we add the interaction the other time? Okay, good. So this is saying when I tap, the unclicked version change to the clicked version. How do you want it to change? Instantly? Do you want it to change once I click it should change instantly? Do you want it to be changing small, dissolving, or do you want it to smart animate such that it's like there is this motion on the surface of the screen? So anyone you like, you can click on it, no biggie. And then for these other ones, they actually worked with frames. These ones work most with either frames, components, but this they most times works with flames. So that's why they are not turning on. So I think I would like to use this instant. Okay, so we can leave it in instant. And then there is this upgrade that Figma did. I don't know. I think they did it 20. Is this 2023? I think around May, if I'm correct. So on our terms, this the feature under the state management, there are three. So we actually have preserved scrolling position, we have reset scrolling position, and one other one that I can't remember. So but at the moment, what Figma did is they scrapped preserve scrolling position, and they made it uh, a default mode kind of thing, such that if you have this frame and then you have another frame to be this, because both of them are bearing frame, if you prototype them, Figma automatically believes you want to preserve their scrolling position, so there is no need for you to be there is no need for you to be setting scrolling position again. Okay, and I don't know, I think the last time I had someone saying, they said if you change this one's name to maybe something else, and then that you can always now fix the scrolling position. Though I don't know, it's not yet working. It's always still bringing this, so automatically applied. And I know some of us would have seen this, so I'm just explaining why that's under state management. So let me delete this. So we have this, like I was saying. Okay, so what about when we now click this again? What do we want to achieve? We want it to go back to this state. Okay, so then its flow goes up like this. Okay, so because we've done that once, Figma automatically believes we want to repeat the same uh, feature that we set for the first one, and I think that's okay. Change to this, on tap, on click, change to that. Good. So let's say we have a frame. Let's say we have this. Sorry. So we have iPhone 14 Pro. Okay. Let's say we have this, and then text feed. Okay, should I call this uh, power on slash off case. That's really small. Let's put that small. So okay, so we have this. All right. Okay, so let's say we have something like this, and then what's the name of this? Default or unclicked asset unclicked. Okay, so we can bring this to this. Let's zoom in very well so that we'll see what I'm doing. So we bring this into this frame to be this. Then we expand this. Sorry, fit here and fill the frame. Whatever. Okay. So let's say we have something like this. Okay, so this is not showing very well. Let's add a structure effect to it. Good. Do something to this. Okay, so it should be showing very well now. Okay, good. All right, so let's say we have something like this, and then the person clicks on. So when you want to test your stuff, you have to play it. So let's play this. I'll preview it. Okay, good. So when we click on this, it turns to that yellow. Okay, and then when we click it again, it turns back. Now this is prototyping. This is not, like I said, it's not, this is not animation. This is just trigger. Okay, so we have this, and uh, that is just about that. So but in situation where I've explained tap, what else is there? Okay, so that's for tapping, but what if you want, I want to duplicate this. Okay, so let's delete the stuff between them, the prototypes between them, or let's just edit it. So we don't want it to be on tap, we want it to be on drag. Doesn't make sense, but let's put it on. Let's use this to explain on drag. I think that will be okay. So let's use this. So let's say we have something like this. So I hope you can hear me, Sha. Let me
Yeah, we
just
can.
drop shadow this much. Okay, so, okay, let's say we have something like this, and then we have a circle. Okay, so let's put a circle here, and then let's change it to range. Then let's change this to radius thing. Okay, so let's say we have this in the frame. Let's see, I'm not previewing. We add it to a component, and then we do the variant. Okay, so let's say we have the variant, and then this comes here, and then no, let's change this one to black or color. Okay, good. Let's say we have something like this, and then we want uh, on drag is not even going to work. But let's see. Prototyping is really something I use to use that to achieve. Okay, on drag, okay, moving. Okay, this one should moving from here. Okay, let me check up, please. On drag, change to this. Okay, let's just see how this function. Then on drag again, this should come back to this. So this is frame 13. Let's call it on drag. Okay, so where's our, it is it? Asset and drag. Okay, okay, so wait small size. Okay, so let's see if we preview this frame. Okay, so if I drag this, now this is what happened when you drag, and if I drag this again, sorry, where am I dragging it to? Did I say the dragging stuff? Now it's not meant to be like this, so I hope you know what I was really trying to achieve. I could have achieved that with on click and then put it in smart animate. I just want to explain how dragging is working for us. I think I forgot to set this. Be no the second one. Okay. Instant. Okay, this is on tab, so and drag. Okay. So and then we will drag this again. We're dragging it to okay. Exactly. So it's like you drag like this. I think it should have been the other way around. Okay. So this is just dragging, but most times people use drag for when you want to swipe uh, between screen. So let me use a perfect example and then you understand what I'm trying to say. Let's duplicate this, then delete all this. Okay, so let's say this is a blue. Let's say there's a blue screen with uh, this logo, whatever. Okay, then let's say we have this with nothing. Then it's a yellow thing. So if you put this on drag now, on tap, on drag, navigate to this. How do we want to drag it? We want this to move in from this side. Page is out. I think I will explain this is out. Okay, so and then when we drag this also, okay, it should move in from this side. Okay, good. On drag. Okay, so let's play this. Okay, so if I drag this is what happened. This is how the drag stop working. And if I drag this, okay, all right. So that's about drag, and then we should have one while hovering. So for while hovering, it's almost I think it's most times using button, or you can use it in any other place. Nobody's saying it's button alone. So let's just do something like this. Sorry, you can see that. Okay, so let's say we have something like this, and then we put out the layout. Okay, add a field. So field text to white. So I'm not ready to be it. Let's say we have something like this. We add it to a component, and then we make a variant of it because we want to add an interaction stuff to it. So this, how do you want it? Nobody's saying this uh must be white or this one must be blue. How do you want this one to look like when on your application? How do you want it to look like when people hover on this button? So for me, I want it to be a dark shade or theme, darker than the first one. Okay, when they oval it. And then how do I want it to look like when people press? So we duplicate this. When people press, I want it to look like the button pressed inside. So I would add inner shadow to that. Inner shadow, good. Okay, so I think this is perfect. Okay, good. So when we set these three buttons, let's say we now have a frame. Sorry. Let's say we now have a frame 14 Pro. Okay, and then let's bring in the button. Sorry, it's different 13 button. Button. Okay, so let's bring in the button here. Okay, let's say the button is I'm changing this. Let's say the login button. What I know is big. So let's play this. Okay, I wish there's a way to zoom in. Okay, so if I oval on this, oh, guys never talk. I've not prototyped it. So this, click on our prototype features for those things to come out. Then we'll bring it like this. We don't want it to be on top. We want it to be on while hovering over it. Okay, while hovering over it, change to the variant to this second one. So let me rename this to while hovering, then this to while pressed or while pressed. Yeah. Okay. Let's prototype it again. While hovering. Okay. Instantly good. Then I think we're good to go with that. And then this one we want is no, this one when we press it, we want it to come to this. So on while pressing, change to this. Um, this is while pressing instant. Okay. So what if in the while hovering we lift away the cursor? Okay, so if you lift it away, automatically it goes back to this. Because by the time you want to prototype this, if you open up this and you come to this, you won't see this is the only thing you will see, mouse leave. But then what if you are not using mouse? What if it's your hand? Okay, so they just set this so that we'll see how it works. uh Change to this default instant. Okay, and the same thing goes for this. Okay, while mouse leave, but we'll explain mouse leave. Okay, this is not mouse leave. Okay, as you can see, mouse leave has delay feature. So what I want to use it to achieve is not how to use mouse leave. Oh, I've said it to so come and say me as taught nonsense. Okay, so we have this. Then we can play this feature. Sorry, this screen. So when we over it, it's turning to the blue one, and then when we press it down, though we can't see it. So how best can I explain this? Okay, so let's remove the. Let me change this to yellow so I would see this very well. Okay, so prototype mouse thing. I need to remove that. Delete. Then this is delete. So we can play this back. Okay, so when we press, if I set this stuff sha, while pressing instant. Okay, A R Farouk. Welcome, boss. Let me delete this. What's this? Tab. So let's take it from here then. Why pressing change to this? Okay, good. Okay. So this is what I was trying to achieve. When we oval on it, it should come like this. We'll take away the mouse, it should return back to the normal. We'll click on it, it should turn to this. Okay. And the reason why it's not working is because uh, advanced feature is what allows you to do multiple prototyping on one single element. So, but for free version, you can't do that. Okay, so if you want to do make one single button to be on over, one single button to be on press, one single button to be on this and that, it's actually the advanced feature part of Figma. Okay, so that was how to do it one by one. So that if you over first it turns to this, and then when you press it turns to this. Okay, so that's for while hovering and while pressing. For keypad, this is for keypad. It's the same thing, same process. Just so let's say we have something like this. Duplicate. So I have this and then duplicate. Let's change this to blue. Change this one to blue to okay, and then change this one to white with shadow. Okay, so shift everything in auto layout, make it a component. Uh, what can we call it? Menus. Okay, so you make a variant of this. Bring it out here. So you make a variant of this. What's the variant? You want this white to be in the middle. Okay, and then another variant of this. You want the white to be down, to be down, down, down. Then another variant of this. You want the white to be. Let me add a bit to this. Making this to. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Then, so for the first one, we want it to be that when we click on down on this the first time, you should make that white comes to the middle. Sorry, that will be key slash gamepad. Click to select. So whichever key you want on your keyboard, I'm pressing the down key. So if I press the down key, it's going to appear there. Down key. So if you press P2, that's sorry. You press P, the speed that will be there. So whatever you press is what will appear there, and then change to this variant to instantly change to that, and then the same thing goes for the rest. Okay, so then for the last one, yes, I forgot to edit this. On down, and then you take them back up again. So this one is going up, uh, keypad up. This one is going up, keypad up. Okay, and last one, keypad up. Okay, so let's put that in a frame. Um, Control, so menu situation. Let's finish into the frame. Okay, so when you play this review, yeah, mouse. Let's prototype it. Prototype.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
This meeting ends in the next 5 minutes, so
Okay,
just sit
so
down that.
we just create another meeting. So I'm dropping the new link inside the chat, and then I think let everybody join through that. Did you hear that?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay. It's next 15 minutes now. Let me just spend maybe like 5 more minutes here. Okay. Just ensure you are
five
ready.
minutes,
This is our time now.
zero
So
comment.
you fit markup. So this is okay. So mouse enter. What should happen when mouse enter uh, a 100 ms milliseconds change to this instantly? Smart animate is out, is in, anyhow, is out. I leave it that. Then so when it comes to mouse, when it comes to mouse enter or mouse, yeah, especially mouse enter, you can't take it back like this. You can't. So even though it's going to work, but then it's, I think on Figma file itself they would say don't do something like that. Okay, I don't know if they've now upgraded or Because like I've been seeing some beautiful breeds of this thing. So let's preview this and see how that functions. So when the mouse enter into this, can you see it's not going back? The matter is it's you can't do mouse enter twice exactly. So I don't know if um, so let's just try it. There's no big deal in trying. It's mouse leave. Okay, so let's put it in mouse leave. Then that will be after 100 milliseconds. Smart animates the same thing is out. Okay, so, so the mouse has entered. So this is when the mouse is leaving. So the mouse enter, the mouse leave, the mouse enter, the mouse leave. Now this is different from what's it called? While hovering. Exactly. So while hovering doesn't have any delay attached to it. Elon, check the chat room inside the WhatsApp. Sorry, inside the Google Meet. Or let me just drop it to the WhatsApp call. So you have this. So the only difference between the two of them is while hovering doesn't have any delay attached to it. Whereas that while hovering the other time on button to be used to put. Okay, so this is it. And this is white person. This is while hovering. Okay, so if you can see, there is no delay attached to it. Okay, and if you check the mouse up, mouse down thing, you would see a delay attached to it here. This is it. So that's like the only difference between the two of them. That when your mouse enter, it's not every time that there is mouse. There are times that there are, for example, on mobile phone, there are no mouse, there are hands. So there is no hands down or hands up. Okay, so that's for this. And then for the mouse, I think I've explained mouse up and mouse down, or mouse up now. Mouse enter and mouse leave. So the other one is touch down and touch up. It's the same thing. When you touch on that thing, when you touch down on it, you touch down on it, when your mouse leave, when you touch down on it. So it's changing to hand, right? So when you touch down on it, sorry, when you touch down on it, it should change to the blue. Okay, and then push other one, touch up. So we could have this is mouse enter, this is mouse enter. So touch up is just like touch leaving. So this is touch down, touch up is like just the mouse leaving thing. What else? I think I've explained all those triggers. So like I said, all these stuffs are triggers, and then the last one is after delay. So after delay is like just what we did for this mouse leave and mouse down. We added the delay to it. So let's say we want this to automatically change to the yellow color just whether we press it or not. We don't care whether pressing it is evolved or not. Just after 15 seconds, so just after 100 milliseconds delay, we we want it to change to the yellow color thing. So let's click on this, then we can change it to after delay uh, at at 2 seconds, 200 milliseconds or 2 seconds. All of it don't come out.